It's a weather authority alert, and I think you know why. It is deeply, deeply uncomfortable.
It doesn't matter how much AC you use, it just seems like as soon as you step outside, it's overwhelming. The amount of heat, humidity, little wind, and no shade with complete sunshine. And it's not just central New York. We're seeing widespread 90s for the Northeast, stretching across the Great Lakes, even into the Midwest. A large bubble of high heat, which will be over us for the next several days. So far, we've gotten up to a high of 94 in Syracuse, crushing the record of 92, and we could even get higher than this over the next hour. But it's not just the temperature, but also the humidity that's making it uncomfortable outside. Right now, the real feel, the heat index, is at 100 in Syracuse, even up to 103 in Fulton, and widespread upper 90s. So it is quite uncomfortable, and as I mentioned, going to stay that way. We have an extreme heat warning for Onondaga County, Schuyler, Chemung, Tompkins, Tioga, and Broome counties from now until 8 p.m. But tomorrow, a heat advisory for those areas and for the rest of central New York all the way through Tuesday and Wednesday. It goes until 8 p.m. on Wednesday. So the next several days are going to be quite hot. Looking ahead to our temperatures for tomorrow, even in the morning, it's already going to be warm. Upper 70s to lower 80s at the crack of dawn, reaching 90 by midday, and then hanging out in the 90s for the second half of the day all the way into the evening. But that's not the worst of it, as we'll have high humidity, dew points in the upper 60s to lower 70s. It's actually going to make it feel like the 80s in the morning, already 90s by late morning, near 100 at midday, and staying in the 100s all afternoon and up until the late evening. So it is going to be a very hot day, plus no shade. However, we will get a little bit more wind than we saw today. Wind speeds around 10 to 15 miles per hour, so that'll help us a little bit. On top of this hazy, hot, and humid air across the Northeast, we are keeping an eye on a cold front to the west. That may bring the risk of severe thunderstorms tomorrow. The activity looks to be super isolated between 5 to 10 p.m., so a very low risk for that. As we head through this evening, keeping the sun and sunshine for most of the day tomorrow. Again, it's not until the evening hours that we may see an isolated thunderstorm or two, but most areas will be completely dry. High of 94 tomorrow. A little bit of a drop Wednesday, but still under a heat advisory, as it's going to feel like the mid-90s. And will be sunny for the morning, but becoming partly sunny in the afternoon, with a small chance for an isolated thunderstorm far south of the thruway. Most places dry. Scattered thunderstorms, 80 degrees on Thursday, rather cloudy, rounds of showers, upper 70s on Friday. Then lower 80s for the weekend, scattered storms Saturday, drying out Sunday, and heating back up into the upper 80s with more storms come Monday. Michael.
Thanks, Violet. A CBS 5